So here we are in Illustrator. We're going to learn the basics real quick. We're going to walk through the workspace, how to create a document, and some basic necessities that need to be changed when starting up the program to function in my class. First thing we're going to want to do is go ahead and open up our preferences for Adobe Illustrator. There's two ways to get to it. You can go through Edit Preferences if you're on a Windows machine, or you can go to the AI button in the corner and click on Preferences if you're on a Mac. That's one way to do it. The other and faster way to do it is to use Control K or Command K on the keyboard. That'll bring up your preferences for you. Inside of this box here, there's a few things you want to check. Right away, you want to go ahead and click on Scale Strokes and Effects. This is going to allow you to pretty much scale your object without losing the desired stroke weight in ratio format rather than just being a 1 point being a 1 point. Some other things you could change if you really wanted to is your units and increments, and you could also change your grids and guides here as well. If you make a change with no document open in the background, these settings will stay with the computer. If you do this with a document open, it only applies it to that document, so be aware of that. Next thing we want to do is look at our workspace. We want to go ahead and change this. The thing I like to work in is over here. You have to go to your Workspace switcher, and you want to change that to say typography. Generally, it's going to start off saying essentials, so it's going to look like this. You're going to have a real small toolbar on the right-hand side. After you get in, change it to typography, and that will make your preferences, all your panels work for you properly. The next thing that you want to do is also change your toolbar so that it's double wide. By making it double wide, it's going to set up the toolbar the way that we learned it on our worksheet. The next thing we want to do is go to File. We're going to click New. Once we get this document window up here, there are some things that do need to be changed. Obviously, you want to go ahead and get rid of the untitled. Nobody likes to save anything as untitled. The next thing you have is your profiles. Your profiles can be changed based on whatever you're designing for. For all intents and purposes, I always design in print. I don't do a whole lot of stuff for the web. But what this does is, if we take a look here, when you're not advanced, if I'm in print, you notice my color mode is CMYK and my raster FX are 300 dpi. If I change this over to web, it now becomes RGB and it has a screen resolution of 72 because that's its output. The intended output for web is obviously going to be a computer screen that has additive color theory RGB. But we want to use print, so that goes back to subtractive color theory being CMYK, and it has a resolution output that is suitable for basic printing. We're going to go ahead and change your units of increments as well. We're going to make it into inches just because that's what most people are familiar with. Go ahead and click OK. We've now got this box open here. We've got two things that have now changed. We have a lighter gray area and we have a white area. The white area represents the document window. That's the area that is representative of a piece of paper that will come out of the printer. The gray area is called your paste up board. Here you can put items out there. Note this though, that if you make a box and it hangs over the edge like this, part on the artboard, part on the paste up board, only the part that is on the artboard or the document window will print, so it will get cut off right here. Know that. So we got those done. Let's look at some other pieces. The bar that goes across the top of the screen is called the File menu bar. Below that is a control panel. This will be changed based on the tools that you have pulled up. Over on the right-hand side, you have your panels again. There's a couple ways to change color. We'll talk about that in a second. You got your characters panel. If I pull this out, I click on it, I can drag out a panel. There's a lot more options that hide inside of this panel. If you go to the upper right-hand corner of a panel and click on the drop-down box, you get these other options here that show up. You can reset a panel back to its default, or click on Show Options, and now it kind of looks like it does when it's in design. You've got vertical scaling, horizontal scaling, character rotation, so you have a lot more options here. But what happens if I push the close button? It's gone. Where did it go? It's not gone forever. It's not over here though. So what you need to do is go up to Window and go down and find it. The window houses all of the tools. To go back to type, and we can see, oh, character doesn't have a check next to it, so I need to click on it, and there it is again. I can re-nest it with all the other character things. If I drag it over here and it becomes blue, I can drop it, and it's now part of that. So that's a little bit of the basics of the layout of the program.